front of a bunch of other people. Luckily, they were black and they were at the light, and they didn't leave. Because if they drove off, it would have just been us there at 7 in the morning on a Saturday, and I might not even be here to even tell you this. So I understand, but I will say this on his behalf. Whether I disagree with some of the things he's done, a lot of it, he sued the NFL for collusion, and they settled. That was his lawsuit. The problem, and this goes, and I speak to more activism and people who want to be lifetime activists.
The problem is he never asked for this cause, right? Is that what you're getting to? And we kind of gave it to him.
Agendas are in this mix.
Yeah,
the same thing with that Jesse Smollett shit. Like, that wasn't Jesse Smollett's brainchild of an idea. He's fucking stupid. Like, there's bigger issues at play in that Jesse Smollett situation. By the way, the meme where the black delegation releases him is hilarious. But yeah, in that situation, when it comes to this, he took a knee, and there's a chance he probably never thought it would get this big.
I'm sure he
But
didn't.
when he took the Nike bag, I knew, okay.
That's when I knew. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
He took the Nike bag.
That's my biggest issue.
You don't take the Nike bag and flip it. But the way the whole thing was done, they made it some multicultural bullshit.
Exactly.
Instead of, black people being gunned down. American black people being gunned down. Not black people from other countries who come here and shit on American black people. Like, not other athletes from who are whatever disability they have, who can still be racist. Shout out to Oscar Pistorius. Not women, because y'all don't treat black women good either. Like, I could go all day about that. Shout out to Never Extra and Ladies Night. But when there's the issue, and it's disheartening, is that I always knew Kaepernick was going to take the money.
I think we both knew.
We
both knew.
Was hoping we would.
We both knew
he would kick something down to the people who
from
actually
the beginning, because
gave a fuck about him. And
because when we first talked about it, we were like,
"Oh, collusion? Yeah, he has."
No, before all that, when he first took a knee, we were like, okay, all of a sudden, like, wasn't this the guy who was holding out for $50 million and like making rap album? Now you're all of a sudden consciously
made a rap album.
No, I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
What the fuck? No.
But yeah,
that's misinformation.
No, but yeah, the point is, we were just kind of like, why now? Like, all of a sudden, like, why now? And so we were kind of skeptical from the beginning of like, why now? And as you alluded to, I mean, I think that's the rub here, right? Because yeah, he did sue for collusion. Obviously, he was able to prove something because the NFL settled. They didn't settle for no reason. So, in that terms, that's
a victory.
It's a victory. But the thing is, this went on for 3 years and was made into all these other different issues and agendas, and like the cause of inequality and like police brutality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, for all of that progress, it's an L because it's a dead end.
And
it's literally a dead
sign
end.
A non-disclosure agreement, you signed away what you really needed, what you really should have.
Which is the truth.
Yeah, you signed away. You signed away anything with a non-disclosure.
You signed away the truth.
You signed away the truth with a non-disclosure.
Which is literally the definition of a sellout to me, because you literally.
Because Steve Harvey is a sellout. I'm not going to say Kaepernick and him are a sellout.
But again, here's the thing. Look, man, I'm never going to hate on a man for getting his bag and stuff like that. So I realized his Nike bag wasn't going to be able to feel all his legal fees forever.
Nike was just
forever.
Smart business.
Forever. No, let me finish. Let me finish.
All right.
So I understand, like, he needed to take the lawsuit. Cool, fine. My issue with it is when you flip it into a brand and make it about equality and all these other things and make you into a martyr and a symbol about all these things, when really you just kind of reverted back to the football player who wants to play football, even though you've never really even come out and said, I want to play football. He said it like maybe once, and it was really just a practice video. So it's like, that to me doesn't add up. You had a chance to really take the... Bro, we were talking about essentially a fallout of the league. We were talking about the CBA being broken up. We're talking about all these alternative football leagues coming up. Kaepernick had the power and the strength to do that.
But his attorney.
And he took the out.
But can we be honest? Some of those same attorneys have probably defended the NFL. Like,
oh, yeah. No, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the take is the take. And it's almost like, damn, either this never gets to court and it's tied up in litigation forever, or I get a bag out of it now. Do you risk getting sued by the NFL by just releasing all the information that you have? Do you really go and do that? Do you have the balls to do that? I don't think he does.
Things were going to come up. Things were going to come out. One, because as you said, the discovery phase was going to happen. Things were going to progress. It's just a matter of holding out the filibuster. Can you manage? Can you hang on? All that stuff. But again, man, my biggest issue is just I can't even look at the word equality now because of the Nike campaign.
Yeah,
like I don't even want to see.
Dirty word.
I don't even want to see an equality shirt. Like I don't even want to think about Kaepernick. Like it really just upsets me because it's like he really built a brand off of a cause that he's probably not even attached to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has dealt with police brutality and stuff like that.
Well,
I can't say that.
He's dealt with racism.
I can't say that. But what I can say is, I don't know for sure or not because he's never talked about it. So maybe if he came out and talked about, why he adopted this cause in the first place, that would help. That would be great. But ultimately,
you want some.
There's too many loose ends that Kaepernick didn't tie up, and now he's just leaving us all at a dead stop. And like, well, thanks for riding with me. Like, fuck you. Like honestly,
I understand
there's so many other people whose lives are still going to be fighting for this cause. Is Kaepernick's? I don't know because he can't talk about it.
I can see that. And I understand that. And again, but my thing is, Dr. John Henry Clark once said this, African scholar, teacher, master teacher, look him up, Black History tip. You should really, if you're black, you should know who that is. You good?
Talking to the mic.
Okay. I thought my mic was off. I was going to say, I checked the...
Look at, you're barely getting up there.
Okay, well...
You're barely getting 1 dot. I'm getting 4.
It's weird, yeah. But, there you go. Yeah, Dr. John Henry Clark, he said, in so many words, don't put your faith in rich black people, athletes, people who are affluent and never really use their money for causes regarding the black community anyway.
Thank you for that, because...
I'm horribly misquoting it, but pretty much it's like a fool and his money were never meant to be together to begin with. So time will tell.
So this past weekend, I was at an NABJ meeting, and
I think somebody called, but I don't know why the sound is.
They were
Spreaker.
They were talking about basically the intersection of politics and pop culture, and kind of how entertainment is in politics now, and how politics is entertainment, and entertainment is becoming political now as well.
Entertainment's always been political.
And so they were just discussing this, and at the end, the elder black lady next to me, she raises her hand, and she's like, I appreciate this discussion. She kind of goes on this like tirade and like low key hijacks the panel, and so I'm kind of like, whatever, tuning her out.
Black people, I really wish we would stop doing that shit.
You do that shit.
Yeah, but I'm entertaining and intellectual.
Shut up.
There's a difference. I get to the point, and I make everybody laugh.
When she did get to the
non-threatening way,
when she did get to the point, she had a great point, and that's why I'm sharing it.
Okay.
Because she was pretty much talking about how she recently went to a sorority event for her black sorority, and about how they were all wearing their colors, they're all happy, they're all doing these panel discussions, they're doing networking, they're doing all these great things, like building, all these great things. And she shows up late. And while she's walking in, she sees a homeless black man surrounded by 8 policemen, essentially telling him he has a restraining order banning him from all county libraries. he doesn't really understand what's going on, so he's kind of resisting. And as you know, as we all know, what happens to a black man when he's resisting?
Or just when he's breathing oxygen near the police.
He's dead. He's killed.
Or hemmed up. Or in the system.
Whatever. The point is, it's a situation, it's a problem, and being an unarmed black man surrounded by 8 policemen, of course we don't know why he has a restraining order, but that's not the point.
Well, the point homeless people getting treated like shit is a whole nother issue.
But the point is, and the point that she was making was, here we have this celebration of, essentially black excellence, but yet still outside, still in the same proximity, we have the people who aren't celebrities, the people who aren't popular, still living and dealing with the same issues. And the two classes of celebrity and popular versus non-popular aren't communicating and aren't talking. And, she kind of talked about how she grew up in Detroit and essentially grew up on the street of the Underground Railroad, and how she would go to these tunnels and like talk to these different people and really feel about how black people were connected during that time and were able to get through that migration challenge. And she was just saying that she feels like now the classes aren't talking to each other. They're not connected. They're not communicating, and have adopted a lot of the same class structures as the white people without even essentially knowing it.
You're talking about like Greek classes or just black?
Just overall classism. Overall classism.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's a couple different things. There's
the haves and the have-nots.
No, it's like there's the boule, and you can look up the history of the boule, which essentially is like the birth of black Greeks, and how the boule started is a bunch of black people who couldn't pass.
It's not about black Greeks. Saying, it's just about.
But I'm saying like there's different.
It's about different communities not communicating. But
I'm explaining it. Yeah. Like I'm not just shitting on black Greeks, but I'm saying there's like 3 different parts of it, like castes. There's rich black people who just wanted to be white, rich black people who just wanted to be left alone, and then black people who came up through the boule, Jack and Jill, black Greeks. They came up the talented 10th, so to speak. They talk about the divine 9, but then they talk about the talented 10th, which is literally just a bunch of black people who were rich at boule and couldn't pass the paper bag test around white people. There's like multiple books. You can look this up, and I'm not just saying it to be saying it, but like it's a real thing. And, they didn't feel welcome amongst black society, or they didn't want to be associated with black people, everyday black people. So you have the Steve Harveys, who is a part of the boule. And also, after all that disrespectful, disgraceful shit he said to Monique, is a coward. And also, he's one of those rich-ass black people who stays away from other black people. Yeah, he has all these camps that he does, but...
Okay, so get to your point.
There's... what I'm saying is, like, for every cat like that, a rich black person who is that way, there's a duality to it, and there's a reason why. And some of that comes from the same place, like what you're talking about, the haves and the have-nots. Yeah, I could be a have-not, and I could also hate other people who are have-nots who look like me. Or I can be a have and love people who look like me. You see what I mean? Like, there's nuance to it. And another aspect of this that we don't look at, and by the way, Kaepernick is actually a Kappa, so there's that. And you look at the activism side of it that comes into play. And what I've noticed with a lot of people who call themselves to be activists is they push the same messages into a situation to try to get, visibility, and they want to latch themselves on, because really what a lot of these causes are, they just latch themselves to a really well-known person, and then it blows up. That's what happens with a lot of people. Like, if Floyd Mayweather wasn't such a dumbass and a jackass, and he catered his brand to, I don't know, a bunch of black designers like Virgil or whoever else, and said, make my money team stuff, his brand would be bigger. But you look at a Kaepernick who had the Know Your Rights camp and really does stuff for the kids, but you don't really know where his connections are. as far as like, okay, yeah, you're in touch with these activists, but these same activists